This is ABC Local Radio.
Yes, we have lost another celebrity in 2016. Carrie Fisher, the star of Star Wars. I'm joined by Steele Saunders, Australian comedian and Star Wars aficionado, to discuss Carrie's legacy. Steele, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us. I would like it to be under a bit more happier circumstances, but what just an icon that, you know, in my life and in millions of fans around the world, it's like she's meant to be always there.
Talk to me, Steele. Talk to me about that, because in my brain, she is an interesting, and I don't mean to disparage her in any way whatsoever, she is an interesting, strong, slightly kooky actress who hasn't done anything in a while, who had one amazing role 40 years ago. Why am I wrong?
Interesting. Very interesting. She also, Carrie Fisher, let's go back to where we met Carrie Fisher, and that is in the role of Princess Leia in Star Wars. A role that was very, for me, defining in how I viewed women as a young boy, without even knowing science fiction and fantasy has this amazing power to change social views by putting it into a fantastic scenario, so we don't really realize what we're being taught. But what Carrie Fisher and the character of Princess Leia told us is that women are empowered, they're strong, they're funny, they're witty, they're sarcastic, and that is a very volatile, great combination, which challenges where women were depicted in films in that era, and especially in adventure films. She would then go on, when you say that she had that one role, she did have a very successful career as a script doctor, as a novelist, Postcards from the Edge, a New York Times bestseller, which was turned into a hit movie. I know you were sort of just, setting the premise and in a slightly cynical way, but to leave millions of people inspired, devastated, and just like mourning your memory, that's quite a life. A life far too short.
Well, that's the other thing. It is,
a lot in.
Both of the celebrity deaths this week are surprising in how young they are. These are not, it's not like when, you have a celebrity who dies at the age of 98, like Jar Jar Gabor died recently, and I saw people on one of the morning shows saying, oh, too soon, isn't it too, poor, it's a tragedy. Really? Is it like she was literally 99? She was 99 years old. Not a surprise, and not actually a tragedy, even though it's a life well lived and we're sorry to see her go. At some point, everyone has to die. The thing about Carrie Fisher and George Michael is it actually is too soon. It actually is too soon.
It's way too soon. And she made no secret of her, inverted commas, demons, her battles with, drugs and alcohol that were coupled with her battles with mental health and depression. And that is another thing that she's been very inspiring for. She spoke very openly and honestly about her battles, and that, if you are someone that's also facing those challenges, that is very empowering to your life to know that, someone of this status that seems to have it all, who is a hero to you, either on the screen or in real life, is also going through with this and is brave enough to talk about it. Oh, that just does wonders. We did a call-in show today on the podcast, and the amount of people that called in and said that they're bipolar or they suffer depression, and because Carrie was so open and honest and funny, there was no one more up for poking fun at herself than Carrie Fisher, that really helped them get through some dark times. And much like, George Michael, using your celebrity to change the social norms is an incredible legacy. And that's part of the reason why people are so upset today, why my voice sounds slightly higher pitched than normal, is that she did inspire so much, and it's a heavy loss. She just finished filming on Star Wars's Episode 8, the follow-up to The Force Awakens, which will be released next December, and it's bittersweet that she won't be here to celebrate the release of the film with us, but I'm really happy that she did get to finish filming, and it will serve as, you know, another celebration of just such a beloved woman. And as a bit more hardcore Star Wars fan, to attend these events where, you know, she does big panels at, she was funny. She was real funny. She kept those Disney publicists on their toes in the lead up to The Force Awakens. You never knew what she was going to come out with, but it was going to be honest, and it was going to be very funny and get out of her way. She had one appearance on, I think it was the Today Show in America, one of the morning TV shows.
Yeah.
And she just decided, this is my time. I'm going to have some fun with this. And that rates in the top 10 comedian appearances on Letterman with like a season.
Yeah, it's great.
Like David
she's
Letterman.
there. She's there with her dog, right? That's the clip. Yeah, people should look that up if they haven't seen it. Carrie Fisher on one of the morning. It's either Good Morning America or the Today Show with her dog. Very funny stuff, and she's clearly a very strong person. And as you say, like exposing all of her demons out in the open. I mean, she was one of the first of the celebrity children. You mentioned Postcards from the Edge. I mean, Debbie Reynolds was her mum, and she was open about how hard living in that world was. I wonder if that sort of helped pave the way for the way that we think about celebrity kids.
Yeah, it doesn't paint a great picture for them, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we have great assumptions about what celebrity does to children.
Yeah, that said, her daughter, Billie Lourd, who's a pretty successful actress. She's in the television show Scream Teens in America and had a little part in Force Awakens. Seems to, from what I can tell, to be a pretty well brought up young lady. She's never in the news for anything negative and has a pretty strong career ahead of her. So you can look at it that maybe Carrie Fisher broke the cycle of that. I know she was very influential in Daisy Ridley, who played Rey on The Force Awakens, in sort of guiding her in what was about to happen to her life and how to deal with it and when to say enough is enough and no is no, and to sort of stand up for yourself and not get caught up in this celebrity washing machine. So I think she definitely learnt what took her to these places and tried to help others to avoid those perils.
Steele, great to talk to you. I will go and rewatch the original Star Wars, which I've actually been meaning to do anyway, in honour of Carrie Fisher's passing.
That would be the right thing to do. I think I'll be doing that tonight as well. And if listeners want to take in some listener calls that we recorded today on the Steele Wars podcast, which you can get on iTunes in about 30 minutes, our very emotional call-in show will be online. You will see or hear the impact it had on just a few of the millions and millions of Carrie Fisher fans worldwide now morning.
Wonderful. Steele Saunders, good to talk to you.
Good to be talked to.
That is Steele Saunders talking about Carrie Fisher.
Summertime on ABC Local Radio.